Hello and welcome to this Driven to Win Any Percent tutorial. This is just going to be pretty simple, just run through the game, explain things. I'll try to explain things in the best detail I can, just to get the general idea across. I also have in the description, what I'll have is this list of every skill check I do in the run, where it's done. All of these segments here are like the different splits that are done, and I'll explain all of these as I get to them, like what we're doing and everything like that, the way I do them, stuff like that. But yeah, let's get started. So the movement for this segment of the run is pretty simple and self-explanatory, so I'll be spending a lot of, after I explain it, I'll be spending some time just talking about general stuff with the run itself and like stuff surrounding it. So starting off in this section, we don't have the boost yet, so what you want to do is you want to keep doing bash jump, because that's the fastest thing you can do aside from big turns like that. Don't go super wide like that. But yeah, just keep bash jumping like that, and you want to memorize the layout of this, and the direction of the bash jump is going to be like, you're going to bash towards where the turn's going to be. So you're going to see the turn over there is going left, so what I'm going to do is, because the side bash sends me left and it gives me that momentum, I'm going to drive to the right, and then I'm going to jump bash to the left, and then you'll see that gives me momentum for the turn. Yeah, so that's basically just the movement for this section. Just memorize the layout and then bash jump to where you gotta be. So for some stuff for the run, I want to talk about is, one, I suggest making a separate account for doing any percent runs, because you have to delete your save every time. Naturally, that's just how any kind of any percent works, and it's not like this game has multiple saves per account. So it's good to just have a separate account for that. And the other thing is, this is a 1P2C game, so meaning you're going to be one player, and there's segments where you use two controllers. So if you don't have two controllers to play the game with, the routing is going to be different, which I haven't played like that in a while, so you're probably going to have to figure that out on your own if you only have one controller. Sorry. So this is another bash jump segment. You can see I just glide past them. It's also, this is on medium speed, so it's honestly kind of faster than just using turbo. I don't know. Alright, so what we're gonna do here is called thumbnail cutscene skip. So the game's gonna fade to black, and when you see this kick screen here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the home menu of your system, close the game, and just reopen it like that. And what that does is, normally there's a 3-minute cutscene that's just gonna play out, but if you close that game during the load into the cutscene and just boot it back up, it just skips that cutscene. And there's no way to skip cutscenes in the game naturally, so we kind of just have to close out of the game and reopen it. And you can see the opening cutscene like that was skipped, and now we're just back here in the skill check screen, which is where you go after the cutscene. You have to wait for this piece of dialogue to finish, and then you can go on. Yeah, just smash through this menu. Go through the menus as fast as you can, naturally, of course. So the first thing we're going to do is events, and you can see we have race and battle race open. So we're gonna go to Battle Race, Fireball Beach Sprint. It is... So the difficulties have different speeds, but I know hard mode can be pretty difficult for some people, and it's really important that you win the races to like get some of the skill checks you need. I would say if you're good enough at the game, you can definitely play on hard with no issues. But I'll mention, if you need to play on an easier difficulty, I'll mention a specific instance later where you need to switch to hard mode. So I'm just going to be picking hard mode. For the majority of the run, we just use lightning because the only real stat, basically, because we're always boosting, and boosting basically unifies all your stats. The only real stat is turning, and lightning has bad turning, but none of the events we play on really... It doesn't really matter how good your turning is, because all of the turns are so wide. So, before we play the event, we go to... So we did this. So this is what I mean by, like, you want to make sure you're good at it. There's, like, get 2-3 stars in any battle race, which means, like, get second or third. The stuff in this section here is stuff you're just going to naturally complete by playing the game well, like, complete a drift strip. Just, you're going to get that. Finish a battle race. Yeah, you just finish it by finishing the event. And then the ones here, these are the ones that you're going to have to actively focus on gameplay. So we have side bash an opponent, side bash 3 opponents in one event, get first after side bashing 5 opponents in one event, which all of these you can just group together. Side bash someone who's backwards / two-wheeling. Hit a rear fired rocket. Hit a rear, which basically just means like hold down on the stick, and then fire the rocket and then hit someone. Hit a rear fired rocket while backwards driving. So you're driving backwards and then you hold down on the stick, so that goes forwards. It might be confusing, but you'll get it if you play it. Hit 3 opponents while backwards driving in one battle race. This can go either backwards or forwards. Hit a rapid fire during a battle race / battle race. It's just battle race, they don't exist in normal races. Lob either of the mines. Hit a turbo siphon. Side bash someone using high voltage. Use a nullifier to disarm spike strips. Advance 3 positions using booster jets. And use spike strips while in first. And there's also, it's not listed on here, but there's also, you can get, absorb a first strike rocket while in the zone. So, you don't have to get all of these. You're not going to get all of these. In the case of this first event specifically, you're definitely not going to be getting all of them. This one event is like the most RNG-centric in the run, but it's not like run ruining or anything. If you get a bad one, you can... We have a backup later. Here. We have a backup later. And you can just get that no problem. Like, you can get all the stuff you miss, and it's not going to be too much of a time loss. So, you can play the game now, and I'll show you an example of what that looks like. So, fill out the meter, get all 4, and that's 2 right there, and I'm gonna side bash, hit someone with a turbo siphon, complete a drift strip. I want to get, ooh, hit. Alright, I want to see, alright, that's another side bash, that's another side bash. Miss the item, that's not good. You always want to get items in the first battle race. Let's see if I can... That's another side bash. I'm dying. Alright, so let's see, what do I get here? Spike strips. Okay. Maybe I can take this to first? No, first is too far up there. I'll see if I can by the time I get up there. Yeah, this is not a good example, because normally you're not going to get this, but I'll go for it since I can. Alright, first. Alright, oil slick, I don't get much from that. Side bash. I think I have 5 by now, but I'll probably do another just to make sure. Okay, everyone's super back there, so... Yeah, this is not a very good example. Alright, lob a mine. So just get a mine and fire it forward. There, yeah. It's important I finish this race in first place, so I'm going to try to make sure I stay close to Dr. Damage here. If you don't get the side bash one, if you don't get the side bash one, you can get it as a backup in the next event. But if you don't get it in either of these two, you don't get that for the entire run. Yeah, and you'll see I'm getting some ones I didn't mention, like doing some tricks and stuff. Alright, yeah. I'm getting a lot of mines. Alright, yeah. You'll see, it doesn't matter much. You'll see, like, later in, like, later events that I'm gonna make up for all of these. So, as soon as you cross the line, what you're gonna want to do is all of the skill checks that I mentioned. The one here, such as, like, you know, the ones that you get from finishing it, they're all triggered as soon as you cross the finish line, or, like, as soon as the event ends. You unlock all of them. Whoa. Alright, hold on. There. Alright, so. Maybe as it shows it here? I don't know. No, it doesn't look like it does, but I get them all. So, there's some events where we're not going to do this, so pay attention to the ones I do. But in this event, what we're going to do is, as soon as we finish it, we're going to pause, and then we're going to exit to the main menu. And what that does is, the skill check screen, depending on how many you get in one event, just takes super long. And what that does is we just go back to the main menu, and then we just pick our next event, and it's going to skip all of that. It's going to... You'll see by the time we finish our next event, it's going to have all of them all automatically checked, because it has the process where you have to check all of them. Okay, so the next event is just race, Heartland Countryside Dash. I'm going to show this again. So, get a star in a race, 2 or 3 stars in a Heartland race, keep first for a full lap in a race, which you're naturally going to do, complete a backward driving trip, which this track has, and then place top 3 after backward driving for 10 seconds. And then what I intentionally go for is get 20 turbo cans while backwards driving in one event, because there's a lot of turbo cans, and then we're just going to be driving backwards on the track anyway. So, yeah, just pick lightning again. It doesn't really matter that he doesn't have good turning. So yeah, just... What you're going to do is... This isn't really like... This event you're mostly just going to be playing normally, aside from making sure you backwards drive into the turbo cans. This is like... Outside of the final race, this is the most normal event in the run. So just focus on playing it well. So yeah, I missed that. Whatever. There's 3 laps to get it, so I'm not worried. Yeah. Just make sure you're paying attention to just backwards driving into the cans. Once you're in the lead, there's going to be plenty of them around, so it's not going to be too difficult. Because you come across like 15 per lap, so it won't be too bad. Yeah, you can honestly just like skip to the end of this race, because I won't have anything to say again until we cross the line. Unless you want to stay and watch, in which case, hi, hello, I hope you're having a nice day. Yeah, I'm not even, you can play this event a lot more optimized than this. I'm just like yeah. See, that's the one I got for, 20 backwards cans, and then that's the one I got for staying in front for full lap in a race. Full lap in a race. Oh, yeah, avoid those cans and tires because they can be jank with the hitboxes like that. Okay, yeah, so this event is one of the few where you're going to want to stay and not pause and quit out after you finish it. Because we only get like, we only get 6 or so skill checks, so it's not gonna, it'll take longer if we back out to the main menu and just skip all of it. So, we have Stunt Showcase. So when we get to this screen, we have the Redeem All button in the corner, but that's, what it does when you do that is it has a delay between all of them. Like, it does it for like a second and then it goes to the next one. So what we're going to do instead is instead of pressing that button, we're simply just going to mash the redeem skill check button. It'll automatically go to the next one. So I'll show you what it looks like when I mash first, and then I'll press the button and then you'll see how slow that is. So I'll mash like 2 or 3 of them. And then now you'll see how slow it is when you press redeem all. Yeah, it's a bit slower. So what we're going to want to do after this is new event, Stunt Showcase, Airport Runway Rally. And before I go to this one, let's go back to the skill check screen. So this one is super complicated. This is like the most skill check heavy one in the run. This one is just like all the natural stuff, you know, just from playing a Stunt Showcase normally. You maybe want to focus on get one without crashing in case of late flipping to get more points. So that might be one to keep in your mind. But otherwise, a lot of these are, you'll simply just get them. Like, if you're playing a Stunt Showcase, you're going to hit balloons. You're going to get a lot of points and jumps. Read them if you want, it's not going to matter much. These are the ones you're going to have to worry about a lot. So get 2 turbo cans while 2-wheel driving in one event. Jump out of 2-wheel driving into 2+ air tricks. Fill 2 turbos by 2-wheeling while in zone. Complete a 2-wheel driving strip. Complete 2 2-wheel driving strips in one event. Land in backwards driving. Double front / backflip and land. Air trick, then land with a drift. Jump out of backwards driving into 2+ air tricks. Do a front flip and a backflip and land. Do all 4 air tricks and land. Transition from 2-wheel drive to drift. 2-wheel drives for 5, then 10 seconds at once. Hit someone while in the zone. Hit 3 opponents while in the zone in one event. Drift for 5 seconds at once. Air drift for 2 seconds at once. Get 1 turbo meter while drifting while in the zone. Drift for 25 seconds total in one event. Air drift for 10 seconds total in one event. Fill 8 turbos by drifting in one event. And complete 3 drift strips in one event. So that's a lot, but I'm going to step you through all of it. And it's going to be a lot to remember, so you might have to do it a couple times to get it. Don't worry about, for this entire thing, just like for the entire run, don't worry about not getting it first time. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's complicated, and you're just going to have to learn by playing and getting experience. But I'll step you through all of it. So, start event. So the first thing I do here is I intentionally don't max out my turbo meter, and you'll see like instantly why. So what that does is it puts me behind everyone, and I don't get hit by anyone while I'm waiting. So immediately I land from that and I go in the zone. And what I'm gonna do is, while I'm here, I'm just gonna hit as many cars as I can, and then I'm gonna two-wheel here. After that, just I already lost that respawn counts as that as well. So, but yeah, I hit enough cars. Actually, I'm gonna reset this because this is a bad example. This is not how I do it. So yeah. So do this, do the air tricks to get your meter, go in the zone. Hit some cars. Two-wheel here. Alright, so now what I do here, do this jump, use some air tricks, go in the zone, get these turbo cans, and then what we're going to do is just stay in here for 10 seconds. I'm going to pay attention to the timer up top to see how long it is. It'll be like 1 minute 24, 23 seconds, and I'll be good. Yeah, there. So now that I have that, I'm going to jump, and then I'm going to do a lot of air drifts. Yeah, drift in the air. Don't worry about your points for now. We're going to redeem all of that later. Yeah, drifting above. There's one more we got to get after drifting above, and it's, I believe so anyway. Let me check actually. Set a drift in the air. Okay, no, that's the one we need. So we have these cans in front of us here again. Two-wheel for that. I didn't do that. So this is the part where I start thinking about the other stuff. So front flip and back flip. Again, you can do more air tricks than that. That's just to show what you got to do. Two-wheel here again. Alright. Do all four in one jump. Start with a backwards jump and do multiple of one thing. Alright, I'm gonna do an air trick, then land with a drift. Two-wheel, then land with it. Yeah, triple drifter, we got that. Yeah, we're going to be cutting it close with the two-wheel into the boost cans. Yeah, that one, I don't know why I put 2 there, it's actually 3. I'll have to fix that in the Google Doc. Yeah, two-wheel into the cans, hopefully that's enough. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, so we have a backup for the next one then. Yeah, this one here, again, just pause. Instantly exit. I got 5th, that's also... Yeah, that one's a lot to juggle. That was another, like in a good run, you're gonna be getting a lot more points than that. I just gotta focus more on that. You can look at like any of my uploaded runs to get a good example of what that segment looks like. So next, what we're gonna do is go to takedown, London's Buckingham Sprint. This is one of the parts where your difficulty matters a lot because the different difficulties have different timers. But also it's a lot easier to get stuff if, like, naturally it's going to be easier to get different skill checks if you have the difficulty easier, but, like, this is a speed run. We want to go fast. You want to be hard mode if you can. It's going to be super, like, it's going to be a lot more difficult, but it's going to be worth it in the end. So yeah, again, just pick lightning. We're going to go look at this. So yeah, finish a takedown, get a star, earn 3 stars, hit 3 gold crash cards, which this one you're going to have to work hard for. Reach 5, which that's pretty natural. Hit any rocket, hit 10 rockets, and hit 2 opponents with 1 bomb. These ones you'll just get if you're playing the game well naturally. Destroy 3 crash cards with a single rapid fire. That's a... I have bad RNG with the rapid fires, so a lot of the time I don't get that one. Hit someone with a rocket while 2-wheel driving. Use a rocket during an air trip. Set down an explosive barrel. Jump and throw an explosive barrel. Side bash the explosive truck, which I just have named as Blood here. So sides bash him. Jump and throw an explosive barrel and hit 3 opponents. And hit an explosive barrel with rapid fire. And this one actually coincides with this one here. So if you have a rapid fire and there's a explosive barrel and you shoot at that and the explosion from it destroys 3 crash cards, you get this. So yeah, this is a difficult segment and I'll do my best to show you it. Alright, so we got the rockets here. I personally like to do the air trick one when I have the homing rockets like that because I know it's gonna hit. Yeah, like just like that for another example. When you have bombs, it's best to jump and then do it because it gives the bombs more distance. Okay, so this is where one of the first strategies is going to come up. So we have all of these spinny guys over here, and it's going to make it easier for us to hit either the gold cart there or the explosive truck. Which I'll show you next lap because I didn't really get it here. Yeah, and when you get something, you're just going to want to use it like as fast as you can, because you just get another one soon after, so just use it. Alright, I'm going to see... I think I got the drop one, so I'll do that. Yep. Yeah, and I'm messing up the 2-wheel into the carts. So, reached wave 5, and I got 3 stars. So, you'll see here, he's gonna go wide, or sometimes he's gonna hit the buses, and then that's easy to hit him. We get another gold around here, usually. If it has to respawn, that doesn't count it. Alright. Got going for gold. You see I got Barrel Blaster, and I got Fire Away, which is the hit 3-in-1. So that was pretty good RNG for that segment. And got basically everything I needed from this. Yeah, and this is one of the few where we're going to stay here for the ending. And do not pause. Yeah, so around here, you're going to have, like, ideally you're going to have around 70-ish skill checks. Yeah, I have 70. Which one did I miss here? Yeah, it's the turbo can one. So the most I've had at this is 73, but you can have more or less than that. Ideally, on a good run, you won't have these two, but you'll have everything in this blue segment over here filled out. Like, these two, I missed for sure. Well, this one you're not going to do yet. I'll show you that one next. Yeah, like, a lot of these, yeah, a lot of these I'll show you in a bit. So, next what we're going to do is, this is the part where if you are playing on an easier difficulty, before you move on, make sure you go to this segment down here and change your difficulty to hard. Because what that does is we're going to be doing a best lap challenge next. And it takes your difficulty that you have selected from other modes on here. So select hard, and then go to best lap challenge. Make it 1 lap. Fireball beach sprint. And it is very important that you set it to hard mode, because we're going to be cutting it close for the skill checks we get here. So, pull up the list again. Finish a best lap challenge, get a star in a best lap challenge, get 2 or 3 stars in a Fireball Beach best lap challenge, and what we're going to do is fill the entire turbo meter with 1 backwards drive a full lap, and backwards drive for 5 seconds at once. So this is going to be pretty simple. So, switch gameplay. Same switch gameplay, even though I have it on my PS4. PS5. Alright, yeah, so for this event, what we're going to do is we're just going to charge the Revit all the way, and we're going to start driving backwards before we cross the start line, and we're not gonna turn back around. Yes, you will. See, so I just turn around like this, and we're just going to focus on taking the lines as tightly as you can. Don't worry about going into off-road too much if it's for the sake of getting a shortcut. If it's like right there, then yeah, that's going to slow you down and go around it. But, for example, up here where we have the ramp shortcut, we're just going to take this. And because of the hard speed, we're barely going to make it under the 50 seconds for 3 stars. If we were playing on any other difficulty, we would not make it. So as soon as we cross the line, this is another one where we just pause, and we leave. And you'll see we get the achievements for it. So next, this is going to be the first 1P2C segment of the run. So we're going to go to Sponsor Team Play. We'll second make sure you have your second player. Press the start button. Go to Sponsor Team Play. So you have 2 options here depending on what you want to do. I would probably... It's kinda jank, but if you want to get the most possible and sacrifice time, you have... Yeah, so I'll explain it later. So, no, I'll explain it right now. So if you want to take the risky fast one, you just pick Fireball Beach Sprint. Or, if you want more consistent but slow, you pick Midnight Run. And the reason because of this is Midnight Run has a first strike rocket you can get right before the start line, or like right at the start line. So you can get that with one person, one controller, and then you can go in the zone and get the absorb the in the zone one. But if you're willing to run the risk of, I want items closer to the start line and I'm just going to keep hitting it, you can go with Fireball Beach Sprint. Which, for the sake of example, I'll go with Midnight Run, but I'm starting to go with Fireball Beach Sprint and runs because that's just, that's where the point where I'm at now. But I think it's pick your poison. But I think if, at the very least for starting off, you should probably pick Midnight Run. So, just pick the default characters, again, it doesn't matter. Make sure you're on separate teams, and begin the event. So, let's see real quick. Yeah, side bash another player, transfer a magnetic mine to another player. So a lot of these is going to be two things. It's going to be, one, we're going to do multiplayer related skill checks, and we're going to be doing... No, you do not look like... Oh, good, Lightning, you look like shit. We're going to be doing multiplayer related skill checks, and we're going to be doing like some item ones and other ones that we missed. So starting off, I'm going to take both of my controllers, drive backwards, side bash, and you'll see I got that one. So I'm just gonna go with Lightning. You can do faster maneuvering with this, like say Lightning's going here, so I'm gonna put my controller down. I could turbo there with him if I wanted. Go back here. Oh, I picked race. Okay, don't pick race. Pick battle race. Yeah, sponsor team play, events, battle race. Yeah, so, my bad. You're supposed to pick battle race. But yeah, so, I hit them, hit her with a side bash, just do that again, so for... Pretend that hit, I don't care. But yeah, so, just gonna go with Lightning here. Could be either or, it doesn't matter. Gets this. Again, while she's going up, just start going over here. Just alternate when one of them has speed, the other one just goes. So I don't need that item, so I'm going to throw it. I'm going to take this, fire it, and I'm just going to... I'll pay attention to it on the minimap. Yeah, you'll see it's coming up. Alright, so it's coming up soon, so I'm going to hit him with that. Oh, it hit him, and not me. Huh. Maybe that transfers it. I don't know, actually. Okay, I don't want this. But yeah, you'll see it's just going to be, this. Hit another player with a rear-fired rocket. Hit 3 backwards in one race. Alright, I have a magnetic mine here, and we're going to want that. Okay. Yeah, usually you're going to be doing this faster and make sure you stay close. So I have a magnetic mine here, and we're going to be transferring this twice. Yeah. You can do an extra one if you want. I have a nullifier there. If you get a nullifier, you can, if you want, try for a spike strips, but it's not necessary. It's also useful for if you get a bad roll like that, where it just lasts like 10 seconds and you don't want it, you can do that. So... yeah, and so at this point, we're going to be like cutting it close with the skill checks. The ones you'll think to do are... like, the ones that first come to mind are going to be ones that take, like, a full minute or a couple minutes. Like, oh, I'll pull one up, for example. Like, yeah, like, best lap challenge on a midnight run track, or, like, a race on an Arizona Speedway track. We don't want those. So, we just want to do these. So yeah, pay attention to these. Like, if you really need to, pull up this menu. Yeah, get a star and a stone. Yeah, I didn't get these because yeah, I could have been better with that for sure. But like, yeah, a lot of the ones around here you're just not gonna want to worry about. You want to worry about the ones around here, the ones in this segment, and the ones in this segment. So yeah, like use the rapid fire to spin an opponent out. Use the full nullifier to disarm spike strips. Advance 3 positions with booster jets, which we only have 2 racers here. Absorb first strike rockets, which I didn't do. Transition from backwards driving into an air trick. Yeah, I gotta do that. Yeah, and I'll try to get like a few more. I don't know why it's not giving me the hit a player with a rear-fired rocket one. Sometimes it's just broken like that. I don't know why. Like, I'm clearly doing it. But there's only like a handful of skill checks that are broken like that. Alright, this is another shot for absorb it. So just go in the zone. Hit with rapid fire. Yeah, this is basically as good as it's gonna get for this. Like, you can do the segment a lot faster, but you can see I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these. So once you feel like you have enough, you want to have around like 87 total, as close to 90 as possible. Like, as close as 90 as you think you can get without wasting a lot of time. You're going to be closer than the 85 I have on a good run, because, like I said, I messed up the Stone Showcase. I didn't get the star without crashing. I didn't get the star here. I didn't get the 2-wheel driving one. I didn't get the rear-fired rocket. But yeah. So once you feel like you have enough here, we're going to stay in 2-player mode. I'm going to go Thomasville Playground. And we're going to get about 4-ish here, max. It depends on what you want. So what we're going to do is start with lightning. Go far over here, right when we start. And we're going to go to this one here, because this is the fastest one that is closest to us. So we're gonna select this. Wait, no, I'm wrong. That's the second one we do. It's this one over here. It's been a bit since I've done this. This is the fastest one. Yeah, make sure you position yourself a bit for the start here. And it'll just take about the path I'm taking right now. And once we hit 24, I'll explain. Once we hit 24, it doesn't matter. So hit 24, and what we're going to do is, that's enough to get the silver, which gets us the skill check. So what we're going to do is you don't have to pause for this. Just immediately put the controller down, and we're going to start playing as the other character. And we're just going to pick up this Mac hat. And you're also going to want to go back to where I went earlier. So it may be good with the other character to just start boosting over there. And you'll see I got just 3 more from that. So we're going to go here. start this. We're just going to hit the other player and immediately back out. So you'll see now I'm at 88. And if we need more, we'll do this one here. So, yeah. Just tow these and then throw them into the things. You only need to get 8, but it ends faster if you get all 10, so keep that in mind. What? Yeah, so I have 89 now. And this is the part where I'm just like, okay, is there any I can get last minute here? So, let's see, is there anything I can just get here? Yeah, I'll try the rear-fired rocket one again, see if I can get that. Give me a rocket, that's bombs. Yeah, there we go. So, I have 90 now. Don't worry about checking it. Just, once you have 90, you can just quit. Alright, so at this point, we're just going to be going to the final event. You don't have to do this. What I do is while I'm menuing, I press the start button on the second controller to get rid of the second player, just so I can have the full screen for when I'm going to the last event. So just pick Jackson Storm Race, hard difficulty of course. Now, this is the one event in the game where lightning having bad turning actually matters, and it's just because of the last turn on Florida International Speedway. So, what you can do is, because it's fast enough, we can go to the left here, and we can pick Natalie Certain. And, if you want to go the extra mile, what you can do is, we have Fabulous Lightning McQueen here, who is the only character between them. But, the way to unlock him works is, he is unlocked by default if your system's like date time is set to June 16th, 2017 or later. And if you have it at any earlier day, what it does is he's just completely removed from there. So you're going to be on Lightning, and it's literally just one press until you get to Natalie. So you can do that if you want. I don't really care. It's like another 3 milliseconds. But it's like, yeah, just pick Natalie. And also, if you do pick a second character, if you don't get rid of the second player on here, you're going to have to pick a character with them too. So just keep that in mind. You can also just spend that time pressing the start button to get rid of them on the screen if you want. Like you can see I can drop in and out on the screen. So if I just go to hard, you can see I just go to the left here, and then while I'm mashing the A button, I can just press. Wait, I'll give an example here. So yeah, like that. Just got rid of the second character. So this cutscene's like a minute or so long. You can't skip it, sadly. This is the only, like, in the run, we can't skip this cutscene because it just plays until we play the event.
Well, I've said it before, Chick, and I'll say it again. Lightning's numbers just don't match up to Storm's.
You've heard it, folks. Lightning has a 0% chance of winning.
That's not at all what I
Will
said.
this truly be his last race? Will Lightning ever be victorious again?
At least he's on the course and not prancing around in front of a camera all day.
Ow! Whoa, Jackson. Run along now. You don't want to be late, but you caught it here first, folks. The final moments before the legendary race between Storm and Lightning.
Okay, so this event is just pretty simple. It's literally just play the race normally and finish it as fast as you can, because we don't have to worry about skill checks at this point. We just have to worry about finishing the race. And some other things to mention while I'm playing. I forgot to mention when you start the timer, which it's just starting the timer is on the title screen when it says press the A button or whatever to start. You start the timer at the same time you press that button, and the timer ends when you finish lap 3 on Jackson Storm Race. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say here. I'll probably have more to say once I finish the run, but it's just finished the race normally. And this is the one turn I was talking about, by the way, where Natalie's turning matters. Like, you're going to be going super wide there as lightning, so you're going to want to have Natalie there for that. Okay. Took a little too tight there. I'm a bit used to lightning. Oh yeah, and also this category and 100% are the only ones done with real time, of course. All of the other categories are done with in-game time, but this one we can't really do that because of the Thomasville Playground segment. See, look at how tight she can take that. Yeah, and the frame you cross the finish line there, and the pop-up shows up, that's when you stop the timer. But yeah, that's it. That's how you do driven to win any percent. I don't know. Your first few runs, they're gonna be... You're gonna have problems for sure. You're not gonna be able to get everything. It takes time to learn everything. You may have to... I would suggest not doing so, and just try to make the most you can out of every event, but you may have to add a few in just to reach the finish. But yeah, just try to get as many skill checks as you can in one event, and try to make your events as short as possible. Yeah, and then there's going to be some on-the-fly adapting with like the items and hitting the explosive truck and the gold carts and stuff like that, and making sure you have enough points in making sure you have enough points in the stunt showcase while also doing all of the types of tricks, and there's a lot to juggle. It's gonna take a bit to learn, but if you're willing to learn, then I hope this helps. And thank you for spending the time to watch. Bye bye.